Hey everybody, welcome to today's show. Welcome to Disabled Reality. I'm your host, Anthony Lorito-Duke, and we have a great topic for today's show in which it is all of these violent attacks that's happening across the US need to stop. Now, let's get right into this. Um, I have some certain beliefs why these attacks are really happening. Uh, and also what we also need to do to really try to fix these situations. First of all, one of the biggest reasons why these attacks are happening right now across the U.S. is because there's basically nothing for people to do right now. Okay, come September, school starts. Yes, many people are back to work. Okay, but there's not that rate is not going to get larger until closer to September too. So but right now there's really nothing for people to do. So, with that being said, that's at least part of the reasons why we have more violent attacks happening across the U.S. Another thing is guns need to be taken off the streets. We need to have more police, more protection for police, and we also need to have more proper police reform. Now, in New York, the bail reform law, it's that's a completely broken system, and it needs to be fixed. Okay, and the FBI and the police need to work together to arrest the anarchists. Okay, and with regard to that last part, since we're hearing so much about how uh, the FBI is getting involved in the attacks that happened at the U.S. Capitol in January, and that's great. And those people do need to be arrested and placed in prison and stuff like that. That's right. That's all true. But here's the other thing. And in the act of all fairness, you know, when um when the Black Lives Matter were doing their peaceful protests, okay, there were these other anarchists during that same time that were going around destroying businesses, setting fires to places, attacking the police, and so much other stuff. Now, just as much as I believe that the FBI and the police need to arrest those people that did the attack in the Capitol in January, I also believe that they should work together. I mean, the police and the FBI to do the same thing and get those anarchists off the streets as well. Arrest them, put them in prison, no matter what their ages are, and and deal with things that way too. Because you got to be fair. If one side's going to get arrested and treated like that, then so does the other side. If those that did the attack, on the Capitol in January, you know, uh, um, be found, arrested, and thrown in prison, so do those anarchists that did similar things. You know, those anarchists are not part of the peaceful protest. They're not sending the right message. The peaceful protesters do not want to have anything to do. They have never had anything to do with those anarchists. Again, those peaceful protesters never had, never will, ever, and still don't have anything to do with those anarchists. Those anarchists are not sending out the right message. Okay? So those anarchists need to be treated just like how those rioters who did the uh, attack on the Capitol in January, how they're being treated as well, with regards to being arrested and stuff like that, and thrown in jail or whatever. Those these people are all under the same umbrella, even though it's two different situations. So, and if you can't do the time, then don't do the crime. If you could do the crime, you could do the time. And for those that are minors that were doing, acting these like anarchists and stuff like that, and whatever, you know, hey, if you act like you're big time, then you're gonna be treated like you're big time. Even though you're minors, you get treated like if you're an adult. Now, with regards to the part where the guns need to be taken off the streets, a lot of these attackers are gangs, street gangs, and they need to be dealt with. Those are sort of like anarchists as well. So, um, you know, they all need to be treated the same, meaning arrested, thrown in prison, and that's it. So, but all these things that I just stipulated, these got to be meshed together and basically done it all at the same time in order to get the job done the right way. So, and it can be done, and it's not going to be an overnight fix. It's going to take some time, but it can be done. It can be done. So they have to get done, plain and simple. But anyways, I'm sure that there's going to be a lot of people out there, that are going to disagree with me and whatever. And since we're on this topic, I wanted to give a few examples. Okay, very recently there was a video shown that I think it was in the Bronx, which is one of the which is one of the which is one of the five boroughs of New York City, in which it was a situation that happened on a bus, and this young man physically attacked an older gentleman. Now nobody knows what the exact uh, reason was for how that situation started or whatever, but the video shows that the young man attacked the older gentleman, and so I mean, really, the nonsense needs to stop. We need to have more police on all the trains, all the buses, all the train stations, all the bus stations. Um, and another situation that happened in one of the five boroughs of New York City was that uh, the police tasered uh, a gentleman, a young gentleman, who helped these other people get through the turnstile without paying and stuff. And, that's a felony right there. You can't do that. Yeah, everybody's got to pay. So what that gentleman did was clearly, I guess like a felony and stuff like that. And when the police went to approach this gentleman, they were holding up the train, of course, and then they tasered him and all this other stuff, and people are on there like, oh, you have no right to treat him like that and whatever. You know, this nonsense. It just really needs to stop. Um, Clearly, this guy was also verbally abusive to the police before they tasered him and whatever. And so you did a crime, man. So of course the police are going to approach you and stuff like that. And when you're verbally abusing them, and that doesn't help the situation. And probably more than most likely, they were asking him to. exit the train, and he most likely probably was refusing. And the man was actually trying to um, go to car to from car to car to car and of each train, each part of the train, and they were cutting him off. So he was actually trying to escape from the police. So, but they basically trapped him, and you know, so clearly he hates the police, and really, you know, you shouldn't be doing crimes like that. Honestly, really. So you got caught and whatever, and they had to arrest him. They had no other choice. But anyways, then here's another situation. Um, I don't know what city and state this issue happened, but it was in a Victoria's Secret store that was in a big mall, and this Karen type of woman who was who basically pushed this other woman out of the way wrongfully and actually illegally too. You know, and the woman that got basically pushed to the side and whatever because this Karen woman just wanted to cut in front of her, and in the process, pushed her over to the side, and so this woman that was defending herself, and she took out her phone and she was videoing and whatever. And this Karen type of person went bonkers and had a mental breakdown and whatever, and was actually chasing this woman around the store. I mean, really. And then um um the woman was calling for security and stuff like that, and security took a really long time to get to that store. And then the police were called in by this Karen person, and um by the time when the police got there, the police were treating this case horribly, really. Um, they were basically treating it as it was nothing when it was actually something. Seriously. So, uh, um, the woman that was videoing that got actually, the one that was actually pushed to the side and whatever, she filed a police report and she filed a complaint against the officers that were just really minimizing the case, really, and that should not have been. And uh, she also filed a complaint against the mall because the mall security took forever and a day just to get to that particular store. But luckily, um, the store's representatives, basically, got in between and tried to, deal with this Karen type of person. So they were basically doing the right thing. And then when the police finally did come, the representative of that Victoria's Secret did step up and say, "Listen, that Karen type of person carried on like this, chased that woman around for no reason and whatever." So um, that person's, I would have to say, did the right thing. But really, this nonsense has to stop. Really. And then stop hiding behind mental illness. Stop acting like a fucking 2-year old and crying like a baby when you get caught doing something illegal. Honestly, stop the nonsense. So this is examples of what I was talking about. And so with that, I want to remind all of my fans out there, don't forget to go to the website that my husband and I have together called AWLDNY, and the link to there is awldny.com. You guys could check out all the products that are on there, and all the products that you see on there, we actually make ourselves. And I just wanted to stipulate that. And I also wanted to remind all my fans out there, don't forget to go to the other website that I have called Advocate Information Highway, and the link to there is AIHNY.com. And you guys could check out all the pages that are on there. On the home page of the website, you'll see the link to my internet store on Zazzle.com, in which I designed a lot of products and they're up for sale on there. You will also see the links to the 2 books that I wrote, in which you can purchase both of my books as well. And so, with that, take care, everybody. Bye.